Today we are going to look at this Elegoo Saturn 3 Ultra and if you should spend your money on it. This is not a sponsored product, I have no affiliation with Elegoo, and my job today is to guide you into an informed decision and blame Elegoo for being boring. Yes, you heard me right, this for me is the most boring review I have ever made and I really regretted making this video. But still, we have some things to say about the Saturn 3 Ultra and there are some things wrong with it. The Elegoo Saturn 3 Ultra is a compact and very nice looking design. Unboxing it, we could see that everything is well packaged. And if you want to know the details of how to set it up and what is included in the box, then check out my first look. It comes with a 10-inch 12K mono LCD that gives you a pixel resolution of 19 by 24 microns. It has a build volume of 218 by 122 by 260 and comes standard with an ACF sheet in the resin VOD. The VOD has standoffs on the four corners, so scratching the FEP will not be a problem. Removing the VOD, however, is a bit annoying, having to remove these two freaking bolts every time you want to pull out the VOD. This, in my opinion, is just lazy design. There are enough solutions to just clip in the VOD in under 2 seconds. The resin VOD holds around half a liter, which for the size of the build volume is rather on the small side. Right here is a print that failed because I forgot to fill the VOD. The Ultra 3 is for all intents and purposes a stripped down baby Jupiter. It has the same beefy Z-axis with a small ball screw and linear rails. But this is where the comparison ends. The Ultra 3 actually has 2 USB ports, so you can plug in 2 carbon filters. However, be very careful, this is not your regular 5V USB outlet. If you would plug anything else in, you will blow up the motherboard or device that you are trying to use. I have tested these filters with a VOC meter in the printer itself, and depending on the temperature it's a bit better or way worse on the VOC scale. If you open up the lid, you still have a massive cloud of resin smell. So why they keep focusing on these little filters, I have no clue. For me, this is more of a marketing gimmick than anything else. The build plate is laser engraved and I've yet to get a failed print from it. You can even print right on the build plate, like this grip for instance, without any issues, and removing is not a problem. To remove it, we have a beefy plastic knob and everything slides on and off pretty nice. Leveling is fairly easy and straightforward with 4 leveling bolts. I have never had to redo the leveling procedure, so this is very appreciated. This printer is also freaking fast with speeds up to 300mm a minute. Even this massive hammer printed at 300mm a minute. Fine. This is the red line for this printer. It's fine, but nothing is really groundbreaking. Okay, you can say they added Wi-Fi, it works seamlessly with Qi 2, Lychee, and even with the free included version of the Voxel Dance Tango. Wi-Fi transfers are very reliable, remote printing is not an issue on any slices that I tested. We have a nice touchscreen with detailed menus and it even displays your slices settings to your print. But sometimes the screen is not that responsive and you have to push it a second or third time. Not a big deal, it's just a small annoyance. The printer has an internal memory for the Wi-Fi transfers and a new version of the UV COB light. Testing this printer, the light was nice and uniform. The UV protecting top lid handles UV ingress without problems, but it's sometimes a bit unhandy to remove. What I did notice on this printer, and I think it's the first time I have seen it, but there is a lot of resin splashing. So the inside has some cured drips on it, and some of them ran down and glued the lid to the base, making it a bit harder to remove now. This is probably from filling resin to the max, but that's, like I already mentioned, a problem because the size is a bit too small. The motion system is nice and smooth, but just like its bigger brother, this system has some issues with Z-wobble. Because of the smaller size, the tower Z-wobble is not a major issue. What is a major issue is the way they mount the build plate to the frame. The forces generated from models like this hammer can be so high that we not only have Z-wobble, but the whole frame that holds up the build plate starts twisting. Look at this part. This is a very small U-profile that needs to keep everything straight. They absolutely could do a much better job on this. And that it's a big problem for bigger prints is easily shown here. One of the biggest problems for this printer is the suction cupping of a model like this hammer. To fix this, you will have to add ventilation holes on the top of your print, so resin and air have a place to escape. So hollowed out prints are going to be a little bit harder to print. This is just basic resin printing 101, but if you are new to the hobby, I can definitely see having you struggling with it. There is no way of fixing this, so avoiding suction cupping and giving it some rest time before print are going to be absolutely necessary for big hollow prints. Luckily, this is where the biggest negativity stops. Once we default back to printing miniatures, we can see the absolute power this printer provides. It's a real miniature spitting machine. Organic models print not only fast, but the details of the screen are absolutely mind-blowing. Even this grip of the hammer is perfectly rounded with no stair-stepping to be seen. We have reached the point that pixel to screen size is becoming a gimmick and more resolution is becoming a pointless feature. Looking at this miniature up close, you will struggle to see any stepping. And did I mention that the details are absolutely mind-blowingly sharp? Putting the build plate full of miniatures, I was able to build a mini army in under 2 hours. The ACF definitely helps with these print speeds, and comparing it to NFAB or PFA, I was not able to find any differences between the models. While it is known to be a little bit less transparent, I have not found it to be a problem on the Ultra 3 or the Jupiter for that matter. Replacing it, however, is going to be very expensive, with ACF costing about $78 for 5 sheets, with regular NFAB or PFA going for under $30. So if you want to keep the cost down, strain the remaining resin every time you do a print to keep the ACF from being punctured. Then let's talk about the pricing. Right now, making this review, the price of the Ultra 3 is 520 euros shipped to my door. Looking at the build size, pixel density and feature set, this would be unthinkable just a few years back, and the price will probably keep going down. Now, saying this, it feels a bit like FDM printing. They fell in the same trap before Bambu Lab shook up the market. Looking at this product, it lacks any real innovation that looks really cool and is reasonably priced. Safe. So, Elegoo, here are my recommendations for the future. Be the leader of the market and show some real innovation. And some of these don't even need to be crazy. For instance, a rosin vat should be able to easily clip in. There are enough examples on how it could work, so just do it. I would love to see a built-in heated vat, so people don't have to keep jerry-rigging internal heaters all the time. Imagine being able to heat up your resin through your slicer and keep everything at the perfect temperature all the time, fully automated without a wiring mess. While on printers like the Jupiter, I have never found it a problem. Yet on the Ultra 3, there should be a system to add resin automatically, even if it's optional. Do something about the build plate stability. The way you did it in the Ultra 3 is a shameful example of how not to do it. And then the last thing I would love to start seeing is built-in force meters. If you want real speed, knowing when a print releases to avoid unnecessary travel is going to be the way forward. I have found that sometimes you can get away with lower lift speeds like 4 mm, and sometimes you need more. So having a system that monitors every release, this could slow down or speed up when needed. True innovation. It's already being done by the competition. So no, it's not that hard. In conclusion, if this is going to be your first printer, I think the Saturn 3 Ultra is absolutely going to work perfectly for you. Even if you are working with an older printer with a lower pixel density screen, I think this is a really good upgrade. That being said, I really would like to see Elegoo do better in the next version. I think we see too much of the small iteration thingy going on, and they are absolutely falling in the same trap of the FDM. I want to see more innovation in the resin space, and I think right now we are in a sort of a stalemate that we only see higher resolution screens. We can see smaller compact designs. This is, by the way, a metal designed undercarriage. I think that this is really well built. I think we have reached peak performance on this printer, and now it's time for some other innovations. So that's going to be it for me. Don't forget, you can find these files in the link down below. These are free for you to download and give them a shot yourself. Let me know down below what you think about them and if you think my review is a bit too harsh. Big shout out to Jamg He for sending me their standard pro resin. Everything you see on the table, and even the microphone stand right over there is printed with the Jamg He standard resins. They actually have one of these models in their offices. You can see it right now. It's really cool. Thank you so much, Jamg He, for supporting the channel. And guys, I see you in the next one.